everybody, and welcome back to a beer day with TK. Just got done mowing the lawn, so I figured I would reward myself and have a beer. I did get a quick shower first because I was covered in grass and filthy. Decided to run out to the shed here, so I'm sweating a little bit. Looks like my beer can is too. I need to get myself a solar panel. I can power some fans or something out here. Maybe I'll try to knock that out by the end of the summer. Anyway, the beer that I have today is from Brewery Ommegang, and this is Three Philosophers Blueberry Coffee. Now, this is one of the beers Pete sent out to me, so thanks, Pete, for sending this out. I'm thrilled to be able to give it a shot. Ommegang is probably one of my favorite breweries in the world. I love Belgian beers, Belgian-inspired beers, and the whole story behind Ommegang is actually kind of cool. So it looks like some years back, some of the Belgian brewers, so it was Duvel, Scaldus, and Affligem, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, got together with some Americans and basically built the Ommegang facility, which is in Cooperstown, New York. Again, super cool place. The Baseball Hall of Fame is in Cooperstown, if you're not aware of that. So for many of us that like beer and baseball, this is kind of like a dream destination. I've never been out there yet, but hopefully one of these days I'll go out. The next time one of the Phillies gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, I'll go out. Probably going to be a while. I guess my best chance is maybe if Richie Allen ever gets in. If he chooses to go in as a Philly, I would go celebrate that. If not, it might be a while before Scott Rowland or somebody else, maybe Jimmy Rollins, has a shot at it. Anyway, Ommegang is, like I said, is from Cooperstown, New York. They do a lot of really good beers. They do the Game of Thrones inspired beers, and that's the glass I have here. I think I picked it up around Christmas, a gift pack. I think it was like Valor Margulis or something. I'm not a huge Game of Thrones fan, but if you can pick up a glass and a bottle for, I don't know what I paid, probably 15 bucks or something, not a bad deal overall. This is kind of interesting. I've had Three Philosophers before, and I think it's a amazing beer. So I guess this is a little bit of a twist on that. So it says, a blend of quadruple ale and Belgian Kriek ale with cherries and with blueberries and coffee. Now, Belgian Krieks in general are probably one of my favorite styles. You know, I talk about the fruits that I don't like, but my favorite fruits are peaches and cherries. So anything that has cherry in it, I tend to absolutely love. The one thing that made Three Philosophers, I guess, a little bit unique is it is a Belgian Quad, but there's a little bit of Kriek thrown in there to give it that nice little cherry taste as well. So I guess this is kind of that, but with blueberries and coffee. Now, when I hear blueberries, I think, yes, please, that will work with the cherries nicely. When I hear coffee, I think, how's this going to go? I know when I went to the site, it said some Ethiopian coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't really know what to make of that. I don't know if it's going to be a strong coffee taste or a light one. I know a lot of stouts kind of have a coffee taste to them, some porters, and I can usually live with it if it's just kind of in the background. But when it's that really strong taste, like you're drinking coffee, I'm not a fan. Now, that being said, Ommegang's behind this. I'm sure they balance this fairly well. I wouldn't expect them to throw out a trash beer. So let's give it a shot. 9.7% ABV. As far as ratings, does very well. And Untapped, a 3.7, Beer Advocate, a 3.87. That's kind of unique. Usually when you look at the ratings, Untapped is higher and then Beer Advocate's lower. And I always kind of when I try to explain this to myself, wrap my brain around it, I say, well, Beer Advocate's probably more beer snobs. They tend to be harsher critics. So usually there's a lower score. But with this might just be a taste that a lot of casual beer fans can't really enjoy. So maybe that's why we see the difference with the Beer Advocate score being higher than the Untapped score. All right. Now, as far as color, dark kind of brown. Can't really see through it. It's, quite dark in color. You can't see through that at all. Now, as far as the head, I probably had a good 1.5 to 2 fingers of nice tan head here. Doesn't look super frothy, but it looks okay. It's dissipating, but nothing too crazy. Let's give it a sniff. I can't pick up anything initially, like right out of the can, which is good, because if they overdid it with the blueberries or coffee, I think I'd probably have noticed it right away. Let's give it a sniff. Smell, you do pick up a little bit of coffee, but it's nowhere near dominant or overpowering. It just kind of tastes like, like a quad does generally, with a little bit of fruitiness, and then a little bit of the coffee smell as well. It's not a really strong smell whatsoever, which again, I think is probably a good thing. All right, let's give it a shot. Cheers. All right, first thing I think you pick up, you get a little bit of that Belgian spice, which I quite enjoy. I think it's a nice taste in a beer, if you will. But you pick up a little bit of the Belgian spice. You do pick up a bit of the cherry and the blueberries, kind of like a darker fruit kind of taste. And then you get a little bit of the coffee. That being said, I think the coffee is very subtle and barely there, which is what I was hoping for. As far as body, say medium bodied. Nothing too special there. It does have a nice body to it, nice texture to it, nice and smooth. As far as carbonation, not a lot going on. Can't really see a whole heck of a lot in there. Even from the top, we really don't see tons of bubbles. I think the last video I did, the beer poured like a champagne. I was burping halfway through the beer. I was burping. It was so carbonated. This, you don't really have any of those types of problems. Again, not that you'd expect it with the style. But this overall is a pretty solid beer. I was concerned when I saw that they were adding the Three Philosophers, because I just kind of thought to myself, it's already a solid beer. Why are you going to mess with it? Given the choice, would I drink this or the regular one? I would probably drink the regular one. I prefer the original. I like it as it is. That being said, there's nothing wrong with this one whatsoever. It's just a little bit of play on the original. Like I said, you do pick up a bit of the blueberry, you pick up a bit of the coffee, but it's not a strong coffee taste. So it's not like they just took a great beer, dumped a bunch of coffee beans into it and ruined it. I still think this is pretty artfully done. Adds a nice flavor or dimension to Three Philosophers. I just find nothing wrong with the original and dig that more. I think I dig that little tart cherry taste a bit more, and I think you kind of lose it with the blueberries. It's not quite as tart. And then I think you also hit on the coffee, so it kind of distracts you from those other flavors. All in all, though, blueberry coffee, Three Philosophers would get a thumbs up. I would drink another one of these. I don't think there's a whole lot that Ommegang's put out that I really don't enjoy. I get this probably isn't for everybody. 9.7% ABV. I think it hides it pretty well, but it is pretty high ABV. And if you're not a fan of Belgian beers, then maybe this one's not for you. But if you like darker beers, you enjoy the Belgian beers, give this a shot. Again, I prefer the original, but it's still a nice twist, and it's nice to see some experimentation. Even if you're doing cool Belgian ales that people have been making for hundreds of years, you don't have to just do the same thing. You can try something new. Again, big thumbs up to the people at Ommegang. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, jump in down below. Hey, we hit over 250 subs. I think we're at 250 or 251. So thanks for hitting subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Hey, until next time. Cheers.